Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, I am ready for the event.
Nippon Radio, this is Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Nippon Radio. How do you hear me?
Nippon Radio, I hear you loud and clear.
Now we are about to start All Night Nippon. This is 45th anniversary of the Nippon Hoso Broadcasting Radio, and this is the first in the history to have Japanese astronaut serve as radio personality. Mr. Hoshide, JAXA astronaut, is going to broadcast live from international station. Now, Imagine Studio or Nippon Radio, basement 2 Yurakucho, Tokyo, Japan, Earth, is now communicating with the space. Hoshide-san, first, would you give us the title call? Astronaut Aki Hoshide presents All Night Nippon.
Hi. 宇宙飛行士星出彰彦の All Night Nippon.
Yes. Astronaut Aki Hoshide presents All Night Nippon. Great. Finally, we are now connected with the space. Voice coming from International Station is presented through NASA and also JAXA, and we have presence of Koji Yamanaka of JAXA. Here with us are also Mr. Naoki Yoshida, and he's going to report live about what's going on here in the studio. Now, Hoshida-san, where are you in space now?
はい、実はですね、ちょうど日本の東側、太平洋
Well, actually, we are flying east of Japan above Pacific Ocean. And if I look out at the window, probably I will be able to see Japan. About 1 hour and a half ago, at about 3 in the morning, we are going to cross Japan. So, Mr. Hoshide, what are you doing up there?
はい、主にですね、ここ国際宇宙ステーションを使って無重力
Well, mainly here on International Space Station, we are conducting, utilizing zero gravity, conducting various experiments for medical experiments and also Earth observation. Those are my main responsibility. And on top of that, I was doing some cleanup, pickup, and also collecting things and tidying up for experiments. Those are also my responsibility. Currently, there are only 3 astronauts on International Space Station, so we do conduct experiments and also do maintenance and all the day-to-day responsibilities. Well, this is impressive. We are really connected to the space. So, Mr. Hoshide, All Night Nippon, hosted by Mr. Hoshide, and we have called for questions to you, and we did receive numerous questions from listeners. I hope you can answer many questions from listeners. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I'm looking forward to answering to as many questions as possible. First, I would like to start with the first question. This is from Nakazairu-san of Kumamoto on ISS. What kind of food do you eat? And I heard from a TV report that space food has become much more delicious than in the old days. Is that true?
はい、ありがとうございます。そうですね、宇宙のいわゆる宇宙食という。
Thank you for the question. Well, space food, in general, there are currently about more than 300 kinds in U.S., and about the same amount in Russia, and also about 300 Japanese space food. And maybe as this is radio, so it's difficult to really see for you, but I have brought a few here. This is shrimp cocktail. This is quite popular. You like the crunchy, nice texture when you eat. And from here, you put some water, reconstitute, as this is half dried. So you put water, and if you wait for some time, and it becomes really tasty shrimp cocktail. And as a Japanese, we can't do without this. This is rice, white rice. And again, we put some hot water, so we wait for some time and then open and eat. This is very delicious too. Now about drinks. This is orange juice. So they are packed in powder. As a powder, we put water again and drink through straws. Coffees and teas are also taken through straws, the hot drinks also. Thank you very much for detailed explanation. Next question. This is from Gaoru of Hyogo Prefecture and other listeners as well. So what were you thinking before your EVA, especially while you were having problems with MBSU boats? And you have conducted 2 times of 15 hours of EVA. And what were you thinking? I would like to hear your impression. Well, I conducted 2 EVA, and for me it was my first time to conduct extravehicular activity. So from inside ISS, I went into the space, and just behind the helmet is the vacuum. So going into space, I was thinking, what would it be like? And I was really excited. But on the exact day, I was rather calm, and it was my work, and I had procedure to do. So I had to think about those. So I was quite actually calm conducting my work. And when I was having difficulty fastening the bolt, it actually happens. And there are engineers and also flight engineers. And Mr. Yamanaka is one, and who looks like Ken Watanabe. And they have the data, they have studying the situation. So I knew the situation that they are dealing with, so I was not so nervous. But after EVA is conducted successfully and both fastened properly, I could hear the cheering voices and I could see a smile of people. So that was really nice to see. I believe that many people are watching TV and moved by your successful work. Next question. I would like to take this question from listener who is here in the studio. Shima-chan, where are you? Shima-chan, would you like to ask a question directly from yourself? What impressed you most in space?
はい、宇宙で一番感動したこと、そうですね。前回4年前にスペースシャトルで初めて宇宙に来た。
Well, what impressed me most in space? Well, 4 years ago when I first came to space by space shuttle, what moved me, impressed me most was that after the engine was stopped, after 8 minutes and a half, I first felt zero gravity, and the helmet of my colleague was floating in a space, and that was most impressive. And then as we were coming close to the International Space Station, in the darkness, I saw this gigantic structure made by people that really moved me. And this is still the same. I really feel this impression, a moving feeling when I see the Earth. There are different expressions of the Earth. Like we can see the sea and also the forest, and the beauty of the Earth always moves me. Thank you very much. Shima-chan, were you satisfied by the response? Yes, thank you very much. Now, Mr. Yamanaka-san, would you ask this question for the listener? Yes. Hoshide-san, thank you very much for your work. I'm going to ask this question from listener. This is by Space Cowboy and other listeners from Miyagi Prefecture. How do you feel in space? And what does the Earth look like from the space? And what does Japan look like a year and a half after the great Tohoku earthquake?
はい、宇宙空間、特に窓から外を見たり、船外活動して、外を見るとですね、
Well,
やはり
in the space and when I look out in the window, especially during extravehicular activity, everything looks so clear because there are no air. I feel like my eyes have gotten better, and Earth looks really beautiful. And whenever I come above Japan, I try to look down to Japan, and whenever I see the Earth, they are so beautiful. I cannot express fully with my own eyes. I take pictures, I take videos, but my skill is not sufficient to show you the beauty, the real beauty of the Earth. However, I hope that you will also have opportunity to see the beautiful Earth. They are so beautiful. I have gone over Tohoku several times, and I look down Tohoku, northern Japan area. It doesn't look any different from before, from the space, but I know that people are having difficulty. Now, next question. Tetsuya of Exile is going to ask this question. I'm Tetsuya of Exile. Nice to see you. This is from Hopeta. What was the toughest or most difficult thing while you are preparing and training to be an astronaut?
難しいですね。一番辛いっていうのが
difficult question.
と思っていて、大変なことがいっぱいあるんですけれども、
is the difficult part to answer because there are many difficult training. Some that is difficult for my brain is training for Russian language, as training to learn a new language when you get older is not so easy. And physically speaking, the training in pool or training for extravehicular activity, and you're floating, you're not really floating up or going to the bottom and training to do the extravehicular activity, that's physical difficulty. And also we also do survival training, and we have to go back to the Earth. In an emergency situation, we may not hit the target, and we have to be trained for waiting for the evacuation, and we have to be able to survive in a situation. So training, learning, those are something that I really enjoy. So I don't feel difficult. Thank you very much. I learned a lot from your answer. We have many more questions. So next question is from Tokyo Prefecture, a radio name Okina Furudoke, and many other listeners. How do you wash your body in space? And how do you sleep on ISS?
はい、体洗うのはですね、実は残念ながらシャワーとかお風呂とかないんですよね。
Washing on space.
やっぱり、水
Unfortunately, we do not have shower or bath in space because water are going to float. So it may cause shortcuts, and at the worst case, it may cause fire. So water is very tricky to handle, and what we do here is when we wash our body, we put the water on towel and also soapy water and wipe with towel. And washing hair, we use shampoo that does not need any rinsing, and then wipe with towel. But we don't smell somehow. So, and about sleeping. we're sleeping bags,
固定してどっか飛んでいかないよう
and
に
we
してますね。で、
fix
個室は
our
ですね、
sleeping
私
bag
の場合にはこう
on the wall so that we won't float
縦に
and fly away.
なっていて、
And
こういう
my
感じで縦にこう
personal
置いて
area
います。
is vertical, so it's like a bookshelf, and I'm sleeping like that.
本当にたくさん聞か
Oh,
せていただ
that's
きました。
very interesting, and we have many questions and more.
それでは星出さん、
And time is quite limited. And
向けて何か
Hoshide-san, do you have some message to listeners who are sitting in front of the
はい、
radio and looking up the
そうですね、
sky?
宇宙って遠いと皆さん思われてると思いますけど、実は案外近かったりするんですよね。宇宙ス
You
テー
may
ション
feel
もたかだか
space is very far away, but in
400
reality, it can be quite close to you.
有人飛行士はじめ
Space station is flying only at 400 kilometers above Earth, and there are various astronauts from various countries, including Japanese astronauts.
ぜひ身近に感じ
And
ていただきつつ、
I don't think the time when you are going to come to the space would not be so far away, so I hope that you'll feel very close to space when you look up the sky. Thank you very much. Now, lastly,
公開生放送
this is the live open studio broadcasting, and 100 listeners are here, so we would like to see it all together. Galaxy Express 999, and this is going to be a special version that is going to be connected with the introduction of choo-choo train. So let's be connected to Hoshide-san. Choo-choo train in space dance.
さあ、今、東京千代田区日本放送の有楽町の
Here in Imagine Studio in Yurakcho at the basement 2, Tetsuya-san, Nesfe-san are now on the stage, and they are dancing. And right at the center of the image is Mr. Hoshide, right at the center, making a rotation movement and fixating the lower body and moving the top body. And more than 100 people are joining in this dance, the rotation movement. Right at the center is this monitor of Mr. Hoshide, who is also making the same movement, rotating. And on the right is Mr. Yamanaka, who is also joining in the rotation dance. So this is a very international project, and making the same dance movement connected. This is a major project and connected. And if you're looking at the studio, it looks like just a fun event. I hope that Mr. Hoshide, would you give us the final message to our listeners?
はい、宇宙飛行士星出彰彦のオールナイトニッポン。お相手は JAXA 宇宙飛行士
I'm
星出彰彦でした。
Akihiko Hoshide, astronaut, presenting this All Night Nippon. Thank you very much. I'm hosting this event. Thank you very much, Mr. Hoshide. And thank you very much, listeners who are gathering at this studio.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes the event.
And thank you, Nippon Radio. And station, we are now resuming operational audio communications on Space to Ground 2.